Well, hey, we're live. Yeah, I didn't bother with a countdown this time. Countdowns are overrated. Hello, good evening, everyone. How's it going? My name's Conor Phillip, and welcome to the third episode of the Dundee University Comedy Club Open Mic. What a terrible name! What a misleading name. Because I'm the only Dundee University affiliated person here. But you know what? It's going to be a great night. We've got some very funny people coming up. So they're going to talk about lockdown and the funny parts of that. So let's talk. Let's talk about that stuff. So I've been in a bit of trouble recently. Yesterday I was driving my car and a policeman stopped me, and he asked to see my papers and he was going through it and he said, "Oh, Connor, it says here that you should be driving with glasses." And I said, "I've got contacts." And he said, "I don't care who you know. This is unacceptable." Not good, man. So in a bit of a mood, a bit of a bad mood. So like my friend, he was bragging. Yeah, he was bragging that he's made love with 2 Brazilian women. But I don't believe him, even though I'm not sure how many 2 Brazilian is. So as you know, I'm living in Dundee, and I remember the first time I came to Dundee, I was a wee bit nervous. Some people say it's a bit rough. I asked the local. I said to him, "Hey, what's the death rate like in Dundee?" He said it's the same as anywhere else, 1 per person. Yeah, makes you think. Oh, we got a few more guests. Join the party. I think that brings it into the big full screen. But here we are. Hello, team. Okay, how's it going? Now I'm back in there. Okay. See, we're a popular group. People come in and hop onto the party. It's awesome. So one time I was during lockdown. The first 5 months of lockdown from March to August, I never cut my hair. I never weighed myself. And then when I got to August, I thought, okay, I'll finally weigh myself. So I weighed myself, and guess what? Hair weighs a lot. Seriously, I've been struggling with that. Right now, just yesterday, I was on the scales, and I was sucking in my gut. Yeah, I was sucking in my gut. And my brother said, that's not going to help. I said, yes, it does. It's the only way I can see the numbers. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. Fun fact about me, I have believed in reincarnation ever since I was a little puppy. Money. Like, people are struggling financially. I'm no different, and everyone's wanting to take your money. You know what I mean? So I was at the dentist the other day, and I needed to get like a tooth taken out. So I said to the dentist, "Hey, how much is it for a tooth extraction?" He said £70. I said £70 for a few seconds work. He said, "Well, if you like, I can make it last all day." That's not gonna work. I mean, some things are good being short, right? So, talking about teeth, just last night I accidentally I left my electric toothbrush on overnight, and I tell you, I've never seen the bathroom look so clean. So life hack. When if you're cleaning, just get your toothbrush going on, right? So I was eating some food, right? Went to the supermarket, gonna get myself like a roast chicken. Yeah, and I went to the supermarket, but none of them are very big. So I says to the assistant, "Hey, do these chickens get any bigger?" He says, "No, they're dead." So I'm not having that. That's a load of cheek. So I went to the chippy, right? Went to the chippy for some food. I went there and I said, "Yeah, hey, mate, fish and chips twice." He said, "Calm down. I heard you the first time."
Oh.
You got to say the bad ones with the good ones, guys. So the other day, I was at the shops. And I got those. Have you heard of those pedigree biscuits? Yeah, those pedigree biscuits are terrible. In fact, they're so bad, I gave mine to my dog. So I was today was a busy day, so I went to the the dry cleaner. You know, picking up my trousers. Last week I put my trousers in the dry cleaner, and I was getting them back today. So as I was leaving the shop with my trousers, the guy working there, he said, "Come again?" And I said, "No, it was salad dressing." Unbelievable. Yeah. So I'm not going back there again. What a cheat, right? What a cheat. I have a friend who's been working as a plastic surgeon for over 30 years. And I said, "Mate, in your career, have you ever done anything unusual?" And he said, "No, but I have raised a few eyebrows." So, you know, something different about me. Something different about me today, yeah? It's new shirt. No, I'm kidding. I got a haircut, right? Got a haircut, but I was getting my haircut today, and I said, "Listen, how much is it for a haircut?" He said, £15. I said, "How much is it for a shave?" He said, "It's £10. I said, "All right, shave my head." Don't worry, it still cost me £15. Still cost me £15, sadly. So a bit short on money. So I went to the sperm bank. Gonna go donate sperm, get some money from that. Anyway, the nurse there, she said to me, "Can you masturbate in the cup?" I said, "Well, hang on, I'm not good enough to compete in a tournament." Yeah, you know what I mean? That's not quite. I'll tell you one thing I hate. One thing I really hate is people who use long words to try and sound perspicacious. Guess you know where, right? Bad news. I was talking to my doctor the other week. And he says I'm colorblind. Yeah, the diagnosis came completely out of the purple. Now it's important. You know, people are struggling. People are really struggling in these times. You got to look out for your neighbor and everything. So someone knocked on my door today, and he was asking for a small donation towards the local swimming pool. Yeah, so I gave him a glass of water. Good deed done for the day, guys. Good deed done for the day. Yeah, you know, things are going to get worse before they get better, guys. But let's stay positive, have a wee joke. Let's make the right jokes. So, you know, I've been hearing so many inappropriate jokes. People are making end of the world jokes like there is no tomorrow. As I said, I've been struggling to like get the food on my table, but Amazon are thinking about doing like online food delivery now. You know, groceries to your door. So yesterday on Amazon, I ordered a chicken and an egg, and I'll let you know. Folks, that is enough from me for the time being. I'm going to pass you on to the capable hands of our very first act for the evening. And is she here? Oh, well, guess what? We're going to pass it on to the second act of the evening. Everyone, please give a very warm welcome to my good friend. It's Ewan McPherson. Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. It is fantastic to be here. Conor, really thrilled that you have asked me. You know, it's just so great to be here. Okay, thank fuck that bit is done. Jesus. That was like the first lesson that I had on this guy Des McLean's course. And I'm like, yeah, thanks, Des. I'm from the generation that grew up listening to The Cure and the Smiths. We don't walk into a room like we've just peaked on 6 tabs of E. So, things you should know about me during the set. I sometimes stammer. If I start to stammer, please let me finish what I'm saying. You don't always know what I'm going to say. One time at work, as I was heading to the kitchen to get a coffee, a friend of mine, a woman I'm friends with, said, "Oh, I'm really tired." I turned around to her and went, "What you need is a good strong caw. Beads of sweat began to appear on my forehead as I looked round at these widening pairs of eyes. And I'm thinking, great, I'm going to be the first gay man done for sexually harassing a woman. Eventually, the word coffee falls out of my mouth. There's a huge sigh of relief, although my friend later said a cock would have worked just as well. Other things about me. I grew up in Giffnock, a posh area of Glasgow. Now I live in Shettleston, not quite so posh. Put it this way, the barber asked me whereabouts in England I was from. Shettleston here is rough as guts. The life expectancy of men is 63. I love that. Think about it. When I'm 62, I can run up a huge visa bill. I can take up smoking again and tell my boss where to go. Hey, they call it social deprivation. I call it forward planning. And Shettleston is great for gaming too. A friend of mine said, how the fuck do you live in Shettleston? It's like full of murders and men dying so young. And I'm like, yeah, but have you seen the great clothes I found in the charity shops? Okay, you've got to boil wash them first. Just before lockdown, I tried Grindr. Now, that was the most scariest experience of my life because I got called daddy about 80 times by 20-year-olds. So I'm like, great, that's 80 children I didn't know I had. I mean, it's still less than Boris Johnson. But, Jesus, what a backlog of Christmas presents and pocket money. The messages were all really perverse. So we're like, Daddy, come round and fuck me and pound me, Daddy. This message paired up on Grindr. What could we do to improve our services? I'm like, maybe you want to get a social worker in here? So that didn't work. And I thought, right, I'm going to get fit. Now, I wasn't always into fitness. Back in the 90s, when I was a rave kid, I did something really stupid. I tried heroin. It was really stupid. And then I did the one thing more stupid than that. I tried heroin and watched Trainspotting. What the fuck did we think Trainspotting was? An instruction manual? We were kind of sitting there going, yeah, I've taken the heroin. Now we've got to steal a car stereo. It took the plumber fucking ages to get me out of the toilet. I tried to dive down. So, after that, I thought, right, I'm going to get fit. I'm going to try to be a muscle Mary. A muscle Mary is a gay man that bulks up at the gym. Last time I asked an audience member what a muscle Mary was, she went, oh, is it a nun that bulks up at the gym? Why would a nun bulk up at the gym? It's like, do you think God likes his girls buff? You can imagine like God up on his cloud, just like looking down at this sort of gym full of nuns and going, oh yeah, do these push-up penguins. Nuns with guns. All right. Just call me Daddy. And this is why you should not do drugs. So, after that, I thought I would try Scruff. Now, Scruff is an app for bears. Gay men love their animal categories, right? So we've got bears who are big, hairy, masculine-looking men, few pounds, bears, quite fierce-looking. We've got wolves who are dominant tops. And I wondered which one I would be. And I found out when this man messaged me on Scruff. And he said, "How are you, my sexy otter?" What? I'm a fucking otter? So I messaged back going, "Oh, I'm this small furry thing that dives into rivers and builds dams." And he messaged back going, "No, that's a beaver. There's not much connection between gay men and beavers." I went, "Oh." Now, this is interesting because I have quite often got confused by vaginas. I don't mean they've set out to try to make me do something complicated, like navigate my way around IKEA without getting lost. You know, I have ended up in that staff room so many times. I'm now on their Christmas nights out. So, when I worked for a sexual health charity, we used to go out on the scene and hand out condoms to the gay men. And the lesbians would come up to us going, "Oh, what do you got for us? What do you got for us?" We'd be like, "Yeah, back off. I'm out of Katie Lang's CDs." But we gave them dental dams. And one time I was having lunch with some female friends and they said, "What is a dental dam?" And I went, "Oh, lesbians use them. They stretch them over the vagina and then they use them for oral sex." And they kind of looked at me and went, "Ewan, how big do you think a vagina is?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Last time I had experience of one was when I was coming out of it. I mean, come on." But this got me curious, and I told a few gay male friends, and it turns out they were just as confused as I was at certain points in their life about the female anatomy. One said, "Oh yeah, when I was younger, I used to think women had 8 holes down there." And I'm like, 8? What did you think the spare ones were for? Crazy golf? I'm dying to know if it works the reverse as well. Get in touch if you are a lesbian. Mechanical kits down there. Anyway, so the guy that messaged me on Scruff was a guy called Pigfuck. Now, pigs in the gay scene are gay men who just like to be tied up or just lie there and just be used by all the men. At least they were called Pigfuck. The vegan movement complained, and now they're called Brussels sprouts. I am fine with that. These people like Brussels sprouts deserve all the fucking abuse they can get. I cannot fucking stand Brussels sprouts. They taste like what you'd get if you rimmed the devil. Seriously, it's vile. Do you know something really weird? They don't natural in nature. Some guy actually engineered them. I'm like, great, what else is this guy responsible for? This is Browns, boys. And the worst thing is, is that, do you not think that people that like Brussels sprouts, they're smug as fuck? You always meet them and they're like, oh, I like Brussels sprouts. I like Brussels sprouts. Yeah. Do you cook them the way that I do? I like chop them up and DNA. And then I get Hardy to pour a bottle of whiskey across them. And then I roast them on top of a live volcano. Yeah, you should cook them the way that I do. No, they still taste like fucking Brussels sprouts. It's weird because I've spent the last few Christmas days by myself, and I can't think why. Thank you very much, folks. We really enjoyed that. We're doing that set and enjoy the comics tonight. Cheers now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right, man.
Oh no, that was magnificent. All right, everybody, give it up for the amazing Ewan McPherson. Phenomenal, my friend. Absolutely phenomenal. And you know, we gotta stay positive in these times. You know, it is tough where we're losing people. Actually, just recently, my grandfather passed away when we could not remember his blood type. And as he died, he kept insisting for us to be positive, but it's hard without him. And, look at it. On the subject of my family, the other day I was telling my 5-year-old cousin that it's perfectly natural to shit yourself, but he's still laughing at me. Enough of that, right? We're going to swiftly bring on our second act for the evening. So this guy, he's been on the show before, in fact. He knows the ropes, but don't need to explain anything to him. So please give a very warm welcome to Michael Mulgows. It's all yours, buddy. Yeah.
All right. Hello. How you doing? You doing all right?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Good. That's the level of energy I want to maintain. Let's keep that fucking enthusiasm going. What? I have to do a whole routine without making any childish innuendos. Yeah. It's long and hard, but I can pull it off. Don't worry, ladies, I'm not married. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Everywhere I go, I turn heads. The other way, usually. In fact, just last night, I was looking in the mirror. I thought some girl's going to be lucky tonight and stay at home. But remember, each failed relationship is just one step closer to the next failed relationship. For everybody who doesn't like you, there are 2 other people who don't like you either.
Yeah.
I knew my sex life was on the rocks when I asked out Kojak. And he said, not tonight, I'm washing my hair. Yeah. What's the difference between Kojak and Moses? Moses went round with air on. Yeah. Well done. What's the difference? Yeah. I'm enjoying this. What's the difference between Amazon and Amazon Prime? 50 quid a week. We put another name on the end. It's going to be fucking different, don't you? What's the difference between the Spice Girls? Here we go. What's the difference between the Spice Girls and One Direction? None. In both cases, you're watching 5 cunts. What sounds like shit, looks like epilepsy, and gives priests an erection? TikTok. I've started a new... I've written an article to warn people against the dangers of social media addiction. You can find the article on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Bebo, Google, Google Maps, Google Plus, Gmail, Gmail Plus, Hotmail, email, Tinder, Kindle, and all over the fucking internet. Just because I'm a fecal extractor device, I don't take any shit from anyone. Yeah. What is the point of finding a cure for Alzheimer's? By the time you finished explaining it, the cunt's gonna have forgotten anyway. I mean, I told Jerry Halliwell from the Spice Girls. I told Jerry Halliwell I'm schizophrenic. She said, "Who do you think you are?" There's always one Spice Girls fan who gets that, and it's usually me. I once met Jerry Halliwell. People say, was it strange suddenly face to face with this cool, sexy, multimillionaire, internationally recognized and adored, award-winning, record-breaking sex symbol of stage and screen? I say, yes, it was strange. But after the initial nerves, she coped really well with it. That's right. I'm just like everybody else, really. Yeah, interesting fact about the Spice Girls. Emma, Baby Spice, every priest's favorite Spice Girl, Baby Spice. She was actually the last person to join the Spice Girls. She replaced a young lady called Michelle. This is true. Michelle just wasn't fitting in with the Spice Girls. I mean, she was a great singer, a great songwriter, a great dancer, which is probably why she wasn't fitting in with the fucking Spice Girls. Yeah, so I'm getting molested by my cat. Sorry. Yeah. No pussy jokes, seriously. Yeah, right. Anyway, why is it that people who write on Facebook just asking for a friend are always people who couldn't possibly have any friends? It's like when people say, "Live each day like it's your last." You always wish it was their fucking last, don't you? And I'm asking that for a friend. I asked Frank Carson for a friend. I asked Frank Carson, "What's the name of that crunchy snack you put cheese on?" He said, "That's a cracker." I asked Frank Carson, "What noise does a duck make?" He said, "That's a quacker." I asked Frank Carson, "What noise do One Direction make?" He said, "Total and utter fucking shit." Even he fucking knows that. Which pop singer is good at archery? David Bowie. I must stop stuttering and quoting David Bowie. Yes, it's time to make some changes. You know, I once went to the theatre with David Bowie. We were watching Much Ado About Nothing by Shakespeare. Any Shakespeare fans in the house tonight?
Hey.
Yeah, that's the level of energy I'd expect from a Shakespeare fan. Keep it up, mate. Do you want to hear my Shakespeare joke? Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. You're going to hear it anyway. That was a rhetorical question. Here we go. Shakespeare did not know what to call his son. He said, "Toby or not." Toby.
Oh.
You like it, really? But seriously, I was watching Much Ado About Nothing with my good friend David Bowie, and in the middle of the first act, one of the leading actresses ran off stage and she dropped her purse. Absolutely true. And I said to David, I wonder who that purse belongs to. And he said, "Could be Heroes." Which actress preferred sketching Mr. White? Drew Barrymore. Thank you. Which actor sits in a zoo with no underpants on? Nicolas Cage. Yeah, I mean, recently Nicolas Cage was kicked out of a party because they said he doesn't know how to act. I thought that's never worried anyone before, has it? Worst film I've ever seen is Hancock.
Yeah.
Isn't it shit? Honestly, I didn't laugh once. Will Smith is nowhere near as funny as Tony. And where's the Sid James character with his hilarious mucky laugh when you need him? Anyway, I'm gonna fuck off now. Don't worry. Last thing. This is my lockdown comment. Right, a bit topical here. Self-isolation is like prison, but the sex isn't as good. That's all from me. You've been mediocre as usual. Glad that's over. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Okay.
You have to do that.
Very good.
Thank
Everybody give it up for Michael Monkhouse. Yeah.
Fun.
Got a bit of a cough there. You know, no, don't worry. It's not COVID. Talking about coughs, you know, there was a time when people would cough to hide a fart. Now people fart to hide a cough. Strange. Makes you think. Makes you think. I've had a bad day, folks. Bad day. You know, Dundee. What kind of people you meet there? Well, listen. The other day, I got some shoes from a drug dealer. I'm not sure what he laced them with, but I've been tripping all day. Anyways, gonna bring on another act for you, and this guy's very funny. You're gonna absolutely love him. He's fantastic. So everybody, please give a very warm welcome to my good friend John Carruthers.
Hi guys. Little bit nervous because it's been a while since I've done 10 minutes, and I'm trying to remember the rules of doing a kind of 10-minute set. And if there's any aspiring comedians out there, one of the first rules is that you should probably come up with something funny, probably within the first 20 seconds, just to grab them. In an effort to grab them and keep them, and then you keep riding the comedy wave So I'm a bit rubbish at telling jokes as well, which is a bit bad for a comedian. Everyone's been doing some jokes so far. I'm not very good at them, so I decided to try some of my material out on my daughter today, and she said, "So what are you doing tonight, Dad?" And I said, "Oh, I've got a gig. I'm doing 7 to 10 minutes." And she said, "Do you mean 80?" And I said, "No, that's a bit long shot. No, the number after 79 is 80, not 70 10." So I said, "No, you just need to pay attention. I'm going to tell you. I need to come up with one joke, because I'm notorious for doing these sets and just talking nonsense and never actually telling an honest to God joke. So I want to tell you a joke. Sit down. I said, right, okay. So I was at a job interview recently. She went, right, okay. How were you able to do that during lockdown? I went, just shut up, right? I was at a job interview, and they said, Mr. Carruthers, can you perform under pressure? And I said, not really, but I do a really good Bohemian Rhapsody. And my daughter just looked at me and said, I don't get it. And I said, right, well, Under Pressure was a song by Queen and David Bowie. And I'm saying that I couldn't do that, but I could do another Queen song, Bohemian Rhapsody. She said, how old are these bands, Dad? I'm 12 years old. I really don't know what you're talking about. I said, right. Okay. Right. Well, I've written another one down. Right. I've written this joke down. I don't usually write jokes down, but here we go. How many grammar Nazis does it? And she just went, whoa. I don't like you banding the word Nazi around. And I was like, why not? She went, well, I'm half German, Dad, and there's connotations to that. And in reality, she's not half German. She's actually 3/8 German, an 1/8 Brazilian, a quarter Scottish, and a quarter Irish. But it's going to take too long to explain that, and I've only got 7 to 10 minutes, so so we'll just stick with half German. And I said, well, it's just a phrase, a grammar Nazi. And she went, don't call my grandma a Nazi. I mean, no. Your gran was too young. It was your great grand that was a Nazi. So I said, how many? Right, a grammar Nazi's a phrase for people that are overly pedantic about spelling and grammar. Hence the term grammar Nazi. And so I've written this down, and I wrote how many grammar Nazis, and I put an apostrophe in between the I and the S. Just nobody could see that, but I put that in just to amuse myself. But I said, how many grammar Nazis does it take to change a light bulb? And she said, I don't know. And I said, 2. And she said, I don't get that one either. And I was like, yeah, no, that one only works if it's written down, because I wrote T-O. Should have probably thought that one through. I probably I'll go on the gig tonight. I probably won't do either of those jokes because they're just not landing quite as well as I'd hoped. And she was like, "Do you know what? Just do what you normally do. Just go and sit." And I went, "Oh, do you know what? I'll do I'll go up and I'll do a job interview thing anyway, just on the back of that, right?" So I went to a job interview. The last time I had a job interview was in 2015. Right, it's important that you know that it's 2015, right? So in 2015, I had a job interview, and 2 guys interviewed me, and one of them said, "Mr. Carruthers, where do you see yourself in 5 years?" And I was like, "Well." And then the other guy stopped him and said, "Look, don't ask that question anymore. It's borderline cliche. Just don't do that anymore." I said, No. Just pay attention, right? This is a setup for something, right? It's 2015. He reiterated that. It's quite important because in 5 years' time, it's 2020. And I mean, this can go one of 2 ways. This is either going to be him going, "Well, I think I'm going to be in the middle of a global pandemic," or he's going to turn it around and no have a clue that that's what's going to happen. So just let's wait and see what he says. This. And he went, it's the structure for the joke. And he went, "What joke?" I meant, we're just characters in a joke that John's created for the purposes of this gig. What are you talking about? And I said, "Right, this interview isn't happening. This is just a construct in this guy's mind, and we're bit players." Went, Are you saying I'm not real? I went, no. I've got a wife and kids. I went, you don't. I went, I just got a dog from the dog spot. I went, well, I find it really weird that your wife and kids are nameless, but you've gone to the trouble of naming the dog. I'm not liking this at all. I'm really not. Went, just let's see how it pans out. And the weird thing is, I actually got the job. I've been basically living this job, which is just a badly structured joke with no punchline, or as you guys might know it as the public sector. But I went for another job interview recently. Just because I was tired of that one, and they asked me the question, "Mr. Carruthers, can you perform under pressure?" fucking dancer. And I went, well. And then I just paused and thought, yeah, but would you say Bohemian Rhapsody though? Because, I mean, in terms of structure, it's an infinitely more complicated song than Under Pressure. And if you can't perform under pressure, I'd pretty much say there's not much chance you'd have of getting anywhere near the operatic sensibility of Bohemian Rhapsody. You should probably just say something like, no, but I can do Fat Bottom Girls. Well, yeah, but that's not going to sit very well either in the current climate because it sounds like innuendo. So maybe what was the one that they did for the film Highlander? So it turns out that I can't really perform under pressure after all. Didn't get that one. Didn't get that job. Anyway, guys, that's me done. You'll be glad to hear. Good night.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right. Oh, guys, give it up for the amazing John Carruthers.
Whoa.
I got to say, that was a fantastic set, man. I loved that. And I understand the stress that comes with hunting for jobs, keeping jobs as well. Is there a duck? Did someone stand on a duck? I can hear a little. It's all good.
That's a quacker.
Aye, quacker. Yeah. Well, I've had some jobs in my time, but there was one job I lost where I got fired for bad posture. But I had a hunch they would let me go. I was also fired from the calendar factory, and all I did was take a day off. Scandalous. Unbelievable. Well, anyway, folks, we are going to bring on the next act. I've seen this guy perform before. Believe me, you're going to love him. He's got a lot of talent. I love him. So, guys, give it up. Very warm welcome from a good friend. Chris Wright. Yeah.
Cheers, Conor. I've always looked forward to the day in my comedy career that I could perform at Dundee University open mic, so thanks for having me, Ewan.
Pleasure.
Now, I started doing comedy just at the beginning of lockdown, and my only dream at the moment is that my jokes can be as tight as my jeans. But one thing I've realised since I started doing comedy is that I don't actually mind bringer shows, because I always bring like energy, my A game, and a constant reminder that I've not got any friends. But before 2020, I always thought social distancing was just blocking someone on Facebook or Instagram. Like, I'm surprised due to the 6 feet rule that MySpace hasn't made a comeback this year. But thanks to lockdown, we're no longer allowed a full house, so that's bingo ruined. I mean, I've got to say, this virus has spread quicker than 2 girls, 1 cup. But I think after the year we've all had, we should just forget about Sober October, and instead we should all just concentrate on Can't Remember December. Now, I'm not usually one for conspiracy theories, but I absolutely do not believe that COVID actually comes from China, because if you think about it, nothing that's ever made in China lasts this long. Except maybe your orders from wish.com, but that's about it. And some people also say that this pandemic started because people were eating bats, but surely if that was the case, Catwoman would have died about 20 years ago. Now, I actually thought I was going to be in lockdown last year because I got into trouble with the police. I got caught stealing mobile phone batteries, but for some reason they released me without charge. I donated blood a couple of weeks ago, and I was trying to flirt with a nurse, but apparently I'm not her type. I asked her to go on a date, and she was like, "Oh, negative." Now, people say that men think with their cocks, but that would explain why I'm left-leaning. My ex-girlfriend, she never came to church with me. But she was a feminist, so I think that's why she point-blank refused to sing hymns. And she also had pigtails, which is a pretty weird thing to collect. But we actually had quite a lot of chemistry, surprisingly, but it was mostly ethanol and paracetamol. But thankfully, she did leave me her D&D collection, Debt and Discharge. Two of my ex-girlfriends actually went into lesbian relationships after we broke up, and I used to be arrogant and think that they couldn't find another guy like me, but now I realise it was actually my boobs that turned them. But my current girlfriend and I, we've been together for about 4 years now, and our bedroom is where all the magic happens. Normally we go through, she falls asleep, and I'm left watching Harry Potter by myself. But I actually asked my girlfriend if she wanted to do doggy style, so she took a shit on the carpet. But we've actually got a beautiful son together, and he's recently just turned 2. You know, like too late to decide you don't want kids. But my son's bedroom is always covered in toys. Like, it's funny that as a kid you're encouraged to share your toys, but once you're an adult, you're risking a UTI. But my son is so clever. Like recently, he's actually been teaching me numbers, which just goes to show that people can learn from their mistakes. But genuinely, I love my son more than anything, but sometimes I really miss the good old days when my little bundle of joy was just my collection of sex toys. And that probably explains why we named him Kai, but we spell it KY. Now, you can probably tell I like telling jokes about sex toys and my girlfriend because they're both my ball gag.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend and I were actually a very affectionate couple, and I like to compare her orgasms to a really good steak. Bloody rare. But every now and again she does tell me, well done. But she's actually really happy that I do comedy because at least now other people can be left disappointed when I'm finished. I tried to have sex with her once when I was on drugs and I couldn't perform in the bedroom. Like, I thought I had dropped ecstasy, but it turned out I had dropped flaccid. My best mate yesterday asked me for a lift, so I told him that I had a nice arse. But I bought myself new glasses recently, but now for some reason I find women and men attractive. I think they're bifocals. Now, I tried really hard in school to get an A in maths, but all I ended up getting was a D from the janitor. But ever since I was a young boy, I've always wanted to own a race car, and now I do, because I spray painted the Black Lives Matter logo on the side of my Fiat Punto. Now, I worked as a care worker for about 8 years, and I learned so much when I was doing that job. Like, I learned some first aid, I learned about different medications, and there was even one time I had to help an elderly resident with euthanasia. Now, I should clarify, I don't mean assisted suicide, he just really liked anime porn. Now, I'm going to end it on a personal note and tell you guys that I actually lost my virginity at 12 years old. And you would think because that was so long ago that I'm no longer in contact with that person, but I still see my dad every day. So I think that's my time up, guys. So I'm just going to check on my little bundle of joy. Excuse me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That was fantastic, my friend. Everybody give it up for Chris Wright.
Whoa!
That was epic. That was fantastic, man. That was absolutely fantastic. I was, happy days, happy days. I'll tell you one thing I've learned recently is that claustrophobic people are more productive when they think outside of the box. It was my birthday recently, and people ask that question. They say, "Oh, when's your birthday?" And you say, "Yeah." So I said 6th of August. She said, "What year?" I said, "It's every year." Daft question, right? So, team, we're gonna bring on the next act for the evening. She is fantastic. You're gonna love her. So, go wild for the amazing Ying Vigilan.
Whoa!
Hey.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Happy to see you all. And finally, I hear your very cute accent. Yeah. I have been on UK mic for 3 times, but more than half of them are from America. But so far I heard your really accents. Wow. That makes you sexy. You know that, right? Yeah. I've been used to the Zoom show, so I call them Zoomies, and you guys are StreamYard, so streamers.
Sure.
Can I call you streamers? Yeah, okay, streamers, because tell you what, this online comedy is only place nowadays. I see you people with mouths and nose, because for months and months, I see people only eyebrows and forehead in the grocery store. Yeah, so see your whole face for change. But right now with this program, I only see myself. I earlier saw you, so I like Zoom better because you can see the gallery view to see everybody. You can feel talking to everybody. But anyway, my name is Ewan McPherson, and I'm from Spokane, Washington, United States. Washington State. So Spokane is the 2nd largest city next to Seattle. Washington State. So from where I live, drive north 2 hours, we hit the Canadian border. So that 2-hour drive is ½ inch on a map. Okay? Yeah, we're so close. I feel like we're ½ inch away from getting the free healthcare of Canada. Hey, you guys too, right? The UK, all the Northern Europe have free healthcare. Out here, I just do yoga for healthcare. Yeah, and sometimes I just take vitamins or essential oil. You heard that essential oil can cure cancer. You heard that? That's very popular in America. But sometimes when I run out of money, I cannot buy essential oil. I just meditate. At least that shit is free. Right? For healthcare. So I'll tell you this, guys. Canada and all the Europe have a free care medication. United States with free will meditation. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. You never know which one work out better. It's a free range. Free range survival. Okay. So because I am the only one from United States, Connor, in this group, right? I'm the only one.
Yes,
so,
you are.
Okay, I'm the only one. So I just watched the news today. United States coronavirus right now is hit 8.6 million tested positive. 8.6 million. It's about 2.8% of the United States population, almost 3%. What about your country?
I think it's bad, but I don't think it's that bad.
Like 2% population got it? 2% or something, or 1.1%.
Oh, it's hard to say. You'd have to ask our brilliant
Yeah, well,
scientists.
you guys don't follow news, Anyway, what I'm saying is that if I break it down further, just pretend you're Americans, okay? 2.8, 2.5% is about out of 100 people, there are 2.5 that got this coronavirus. So my point is, at this point, if you're saying you still haven't met anybody that got this coronavirus, you probably don't know 50 people. Can I say that? Yeah. Can I say that? So because I still have people telling me they don't know personally. They don't know from their friends or relatives. They got it. It just they read the news out there. So I'm saying if that is your case, I'll tell you, now you have. Okay, you got second chance. It's me. You're looking at it. You're looking at it.
Yeah.
I got this virus back in March, so I was sick for 3 months, March to June. So, yeah. So if I'm coughing, make sure you stay away 6 feet from me. Your camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can tell you, I did not get it from China. Okay, I got it from Spokane, Washington. So can I call it the Spokane virus? Yeah. All right. So how you guys all doing in the pandemic? Just stay home? Doing okay, or?
It's been good. I've got my own show, so I can't complain.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah, I loved it too. Now I recover. I really love all these Zoom shows, online shows. But I find myself stay at home eating a lot. Turn into an eating machine lately. I think part of it is trying to get the weight back that I lost during the 3 months that I was sick. So I kind of like eating average about 12, 13 hours a day. How about you guys? And that reminds me Chinese panda. Chinese panda eat about 14 hours a day. So after I've been eating like this for a while, it's okay. I think I got it. That's why they call it pandemic. Everybody just feel like panda. Yeah. So during this pandemic, I also watched a lot of Netflix show. You guys watch a lot of Netflix too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Netflix. So most time though, I just watch comedy special. And there's just so many new faces on comedy special. And sometimes I look at the comedian on the comedy special. It's like, hey, you know what? I can do that. I probably can do better than that guy. I think you all feel that same way. You're just too humble to say it, right, guys? Yeah. One time there's an Indian guy, okay, on comedy special. Like 10 minutes in, there's no laugh. And the room is so quiet. I'm thinking, geez, I could really do better than that. Like if I have Netflix special, I can do 15 minutes and put the room to dead silence. So I just felt, okay, Netflix should book me. All right. So another thing about me is that I'm single mother. Yeah, I'm single mother twice. And sometimes I feel like I'd rather widow twice. Widow twice is not like I'm saying I should have killed my 2 ex-husbands. No, what I'm saying is that if I'm widow twice, at least I have something to show for it. Like 2 trust funds and maybe 2 houses transferred to my name. Yeah, but no, instead I got 2 fucking kids from 2 Caucasian guys. Okay. That's a joke because the 2 kids actually turned out to be the biggest blessing of my life instead of a curse. Okay. So, I'm just telling jokes. So besides I'm a single mother, I'm also single. I'm single woman now for 10 years. 10 years is a long time to be single, don't you think, guys?
Yeah.
10 years. I kind of feel like I forgot how guy feels like because nobody touched me, right? I forgot how guys feels like, or how men smell like, or how dick works. Yeah, it's been that long. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't be too picky. I should just accept people's dick pic when I go online dating. I probably should just start a collection of dick pic. But my point is that these days when I see Facebook, people posting their happy couple picture, it kind of pisses me off. I just make me jealous. I'm saying, all right, you guys happy, okay, happily ever after, but very boring life. I'm saying, I'll say, okay, I'm single, so I'm gonna grow old alone and die alone. Like, okay, I'm just gonna, I guess, pass my untold million to my cat. You know what I'm saying? Because I have told my two kids, I have a daughter and son, so hey, you guys are born here, fresh start, so go to Silicon Valley to make your billions, okay? But then on second thought, because my two kids are half Asian, so I said, okay, then if you can't make billion yourself, you can marry a billionaire, okay? In Silicon Valley. Don't count on my money. So my two kids all agree. They're like, okay, you spend whatever money you have. So give it to my cat. But I'll tell you though, I haven't got it yet. I haven't earned it. Okay, that is my goal. Okay, I'm making plan to make $1 million. Maybe this comedy thing is it. So once I make it, I'll pass on to my cat and the dialogue. Okay, guys. A few months ago, actually, this is a pre-coronavirus pandemic. One of my friends asked me, says, "Ying, do you think you'll get married again?" I'm thinking, wow, that is a good question. I'll tell you a story. Okay, I'll tell you a story. Answer your question. When I first got married in United States, okay, I was a graduate student from China to here. And when I first got married on a wedding night, I asked my now ex-husband, number one, right? It's like, how many women have you had sex with before me? And then he paused. Then he said, I guess it's 12. I was like, whoa, 12. It's a huge number for a Chinese woman just came to United States. You know what I'm saying? Like 12, wow. That's many pussy that he saw. And so now, am I supposed to be the lucky 13? You know what I'm saying? Wow. So fast forward, okay? I think 7 years later, we divorced, right? We ended up divorced. It was not because of a number 12 at all. It's some other reason. So I was thinking at the time when we signed all the papers, I'm like, wow, now it's my chance to hit that 12, because he was my number 2. I dated just once in China, so he got here though. So he was number 2. But fast forward again, okay? So this is how many years ago? That's so many years ago. So fast forward now, I can report to you, after divorce, including datings and some other relationships, including one night stand. Total, I have 7. My number is 7. Which means I've seen 7 dicks. Okay, that's too much or what? The one guy I dated actually, because that I asked him how many women, he said 3. So I was number 3. I was like, wow, what's wrong with you, right? Because later I learned 12 is no big deal. It's nothing in United States. So if you only dated 1 or 2, it's like, hey, what's wrong with you? But anyway, but I'm getting older, right? I'm getting older, so I kind of downgraded myself. It's like, okay, forget about 12. 10 maybe is good. After I hit 10, maybe it's time to get married, right? But with the pandemic thing going on, I don't have chance to meet anybody. So I discounted my number again. So I'm saying, okay, well, I'll just 8. How about that? 8 is very lucky Chinese number, which means if I see another dick hit 8, maybe one night stand, That's it. So next one, I'm gonna get married. That's right there. Yeah. Okay. Another thing about me is I still keeping a day job, 9 to 5, because somebody have to pay bills, right? Somebody have to put a food over your roof and put a roof under the table. Okay, you guys paid attention. That's cool. That's cool. But really, I don't like talk about my job. I don't like to tell people because it's hard to explain. It's like, what do you do? People ask me, and I say, well, I'm kind of like they call the sanitary engineer. Like, what is that? Okay, break it down further. Sewer engineer. Like, still they don't know what that is. Okay, and some people, one guy just said, oh, that sounds like shit engineer. I was like, yeah, you got it. That's why I had to do comedy because so far nobody called me shit comedian yet. So if I had to explain what I do, it's kind of like you go to the bathroom, right? You do your thing, then you flush the toilet. You think you're done, and that's where I pick it up. That's what we. Our job, my job, just began after you shit and flush toilet. Because in Washington State, the water, the sewer water don't just go straight to a Pacific Ocean. Somebody, the water I call fecal matter. Fecal water had to stop somewhere and be treated, right? And that's my job. That's my job. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. But that pays bill, okay? Yeah. So I remember when I first got this job, we have a field inspections. So first time I go out to the field and tell the operator, can you open up the manhole cover? Because that's the first stop of the wastewater matter. I was thinking, why they call it, why you guys, I think Britain, Europe, same thing, manhole cover. Why can't they call it woman's hole? You know what I'm saying? You call it quality. Because in China, we call that well, the well cover thing, right? Well. Well, with the United States here, the Me Too movement going on, I said, okay, I think it makes sense. Because if you tell operator, and you open the woman's hole, it almost sounds like invitation for rape. So I'll stick with the manhole, But anyway, when he did open the manhole, especially on Monday after weekend, a lot of time what I see the manhole, okay, what's in there is condoms, a lot of floating condoms. First time I saw that, I was like, wow, do people fuck more than they poop? Yeah. I guess I just say, don't flush the condom to the toilet. Okay. Somebody is gonna look at it, and it's almost like murder scene. You just flush down the next whole generation of babies to the toilet. Yeah. So it's not even a joke. It's not punchline. It's just a public announcement. Don't flush your condom to the toilet. But I give you credit that you use protection though. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How's my time doing? Doing all right there?
You're doing okay. Feel free to keep going or wrap up or do whatever you want. You're doing great.
I got maybe one more. So another thing about me is I became United States citizen by choice in 2002. When I say by choice, I mean I actually thought about it. I weighed pros and cons about it. I have to give up my Chinese passport. Because the Americans don't recognize dual citizenship. And I had to go through all the testing and interviews. So I remember that interview, Homeland Security, guy says, why? So here he said, are you a Chinese spy? Okay, it's like, no, I'm not a Chinese spy. It's because I look around, there's nothing worse for me to spy on. Everything's already made in China. And then he said that why you want to continue to stay here in the United States. 2002. I said, well, because you guys have a free, fresh air. you know. And in 2002, China air was very polluted. Everybody wore a mask, just like right now here. People wear a mask everywhere. So of course I cannot say that this year, because right here Americans got Corona air this year. No fresh air there. But actually, they have to have you swear in. You know, I had to swear under oath to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States. So this year, come to handy. I'm thinking, thank God, you know, this the swearing in didn't say protect the President of the United States. No, it's Constitution. So November, which is 2 weeks from now, I have to go vote to protect the Constitution of the United States. You know. All right, guys. I'm gonna have one more joke, then I finish my set up. So in China, we have saying that you are what you eat. You heard that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. But in the United States, they have saying to say you are who you are associated with. You are who your friends are, and you are who you hang out with. You know. So when I got here, I got this cultural clash thing going because I really like my friend, but I was like, I can't eat who I hang out with. Okay, that's my set. That's my time, and thank you very much for watching, for listening, and love all your streamers. And
Hey,
yeah,
amazing. All right, yeah.
Whoa.
Everybody give it up for the amazing Ying Vigilan!
Thank you. Love your accent. Love your accent.
Thank you very much. Well, that's great. We've been all over the world, haven't we? You know, we've been in Scotland, we've been in America, and that's it. But let's talk about a wee bit of travel. You know, the last place I went to on holiday was the Canary Islands. And I think that's a really strange name for an island because if you go to the Canary Islands, there's no canaries. You go to the Canary Islands, there's no canaries. And it's the same thing with the Virgin Isles. There's no canaries there either.
You actually went, or are you talking about the online Zoom show?
I mean, like I was actually there.
Oh, but, okay. Yeah, cool.
No, yeah, not been to the Virgin Isles yet, though. So, you know, looking forward to that. Also, you know, the other day I've been a bit of a downer. My computer beat me at a game of chess, but luckily it was no match for me at kickboxing. So, folks, we're going to bring on our headliner, and this guy's a headliner for the reason because, you know, he is hilarious. He is brilliant. He's been on the show before. You loved him back then. You're going to love him even more now. It's the amazing Jimi Longmuir.
Well, how can I live up to that introduction? I was actually going to expand my set a bit tonight because I've got a 20-minute set, like on Sunday, my first 20-minute set. So I wrote all my notes in the back of my hand, and then how do you write 20 minutes material in the back of your hand? I think I may have fucked this up. No, given the format, rather than doing comedy, I feel I should be issuing some kind of plea and assurance to the camera, like, I'm okay, no one's hurt me, they're feeding me, but can you please make sure you transfer the funds by close of business on Friday? I look like some rich idiot's ne'er-do-well brother that get kidnapped on a night out in Mexico. And I'm only joking, I'm kind of getting used to the format of these gigs. I've done gigs all over the world from the comfort of my own home. I've done a gig in New York from my bathroom. I've done a gig in Los Angeles from my living room. And I've done a gig from Paris in the kitchen when I was sitting on a plate. Totally fucking smashed it. These gigs kind of remind me of work, like how I started doing comedy. I started doing comedy in a workshop. It was really cool, actually. You could go in and learn how to tell jokes and how to have a bit of stagecraft and stuff. And every time I would go in, the guy would say what happens in the workshop stays in the workshop. But then he'd put it all up on fucking Facebook. And these days he's doing it all on Facebook. But, he used to tell me I was brilliant. I really actually thought I was brilliant at this until I noticed he said that to everyone. He put a positive spin on everything. He would have probably told Peter Tobin that at least he was a good janitor. Well, one thing he taught you is be yourself. Well, here I am, completely myself in my house doing comedy at my phone because I'm desperate for validation. And is be yourself always really the best advice anyway? I mean, I'm a paranoid, anxious and depressed, recently bereaved, unemployed, recovering addict suffering from symptoms of complex PTSD. And now I'm under lockdown. I don't think I'm ready for me to be myself. But, you know, the workshop finished and I basically just kept doing comedy because I had nothing better to do. I was unemployed. In fact, a couple of weeks after I started doing comedy, somebody phoned the Department for Work and Pensions and said I was making a lot of money. That really hurt until I thought about it. And do you know what? It's really nice somebody thought I was making a lot of money doing this. See, I was signed off sick, so the guy from the Department of Work and Pensions said the fact that you're doing comedy proves that you don't have a debilitating mental illness. And I said, you're going to have to wait till you see my set before you make that call, mate. And I found out actually I was allowed to earn £120 a week and claim benefits. So it looks like I'm going to be able to do both for at least another 5 years. But the reason I was signed off sick and unemployed and all that is because I was actually a carer for 8 years. And I was looking after my mum. My mum was ill MS. It's a pretty stressful time. I had no social life. In fact, in those 8 years, I barely had any sex. Least of all with her. So, but she passed away, and I get back into the world, and I started doing a lot of online dating and stuff. But see, when I joined Tinder, like Time's Up, Me Too, and all that, we're just kind of gathering pace. And I really didn't want to abuse my power as a recently bereaved, unemployed, recovering addict. So I put in my profile I wasn't just looking for sex. But I think most of the girls seen that profile and thought, just as well, she's not fucking getting any. But so I messed about in Tinder and stuff. And I actually learned a lot of lessons in Tinder. Like the main thing I learned is it's almost got the perfect symbol. It's a little circle with a flame inside. No, what's really missing is a little pile of ashes that used to be human hearts directly underneath it. I mean, the world online dating's kind of messed up. I kind of look at kids now, and I know my own parents' story for how they met better than Marty McFly did, and he was there twice. But I mean, what the Tinder baby's parents' story's going to be like? It's going to be like, "Aye, son, first time I ever met your mum, I had to swipe right because she had some fucking trout out on her." And the mum be like, "Aye, hen, it's a cracking wee story. First time I ever met your father, I accidentally swiped left. But they brought in a function where you go like that and they come back and here you are. Cracking story." But, and then by the time lockdown happened, man, I was like just going on all these crazy dates. But I fucked that part of setting up. I stopped doing Tinder basically because lockdown, you couldn't do Tinder anymore. Lockdown was okay at the start. At the start, I kept myself fairly active, going on walks about my neighbourhood and stuff. In fact, one day I found myself somewhere that was technically very crowded, but everyone stayed at least 6 feet away, so that was good. But all the same, I never went back to that graveyard. And I managed to keep myself safe, well and busy. Mainly I kept myself busy by assuring everyone I know in different apps that I was safe and well. By 3 months in, whenever anyone texted to ask how I was doing, I felt like texting back, "I'm doing the same as you, I'm pretending everything's fine, now fuck off." Although we did get a pretty good situation in the middle of lockdown with Captain Tom Moore. Captain Tom Moore's a 100-year-old man, and he'd done 100 laps of his garden, and he earned in excess of 40 million for charity. I thought that was absolutely amazing. Till, you know, I really thought about it. We've seen old guys that like to keep fit, charm the public, have a presence around NHS and the pop charts before. And we're all made to look very foolish by Jimmy Savile. Now, like I said, I'm just a bit paranoid, but I think for now we should definitely keep the lads and lassies well away from this Tom Moore. Certainly by at least 2 metres. And you know, I get sick of wanking in lockdown. I mean, I didn't even think that was possible. I didn't even know you could get sick of wanking. In fact, every time I went to wank, I just looked down and I knew how the Queen must feel about Prince Andrew. I mean, technically it was my flesh and blood, but I really didn't want to fucking look at it anymore. I blame 5G for that. I think David Icke was right about 5G. I thought 5G was going to be good news for shut-in porn addicts. Even monkeys in captivity get to enjoy a little wank from time to time. I know that for a fact because that was an awkward date, Blair Drummond. Although if you were a zookeeper, what could you do about a monkey that keeps wanking anyway? I mean, I'm sure it's much harder to explain to an 8-year-old why your monkeys don't have any hands. Another thing about the lockdown as well, like I was in prison years ago, for 6 weeks, 20 years ago. And people have always asked me what it was like, especially because I always make fucking jokes about it now. And like, oh, what was prison like? And I've never, ever been able to describe it until now. Now I can tell them prison was almost exactly like this lockdown, except I didn't have to put up with your partner and kids, and I knew when it was going to be over. See, I'm doing a few jokes about the lockdown, but I'm kind of hesitant to make any jokes about the coronavirus itself, because I'm old enough to remember jokes about the planes in 9/11, and none of them landed. But like I say, I mean, I was doing a bit of Tinder at the start, just before lockdown happened, but we had to stop doing Tinder because of lockdown. And I was actually quite glad because by the time lockdown happened, I was just going out on all these crazy dates. In fact, every time I spoke to a girl on Tinder, she was like, "You're just looking for material, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah, have you got any?" Going out on all these fucking mental dates. You know, I've had a good think about this, and I think the reason I was doing so much Tinder is because my last relationship was so bad. In fact, my last relationship was so fucking toxic, you could have used its energy to get a DeLorean back to 1985. See, I'm just realising I've used 2 Back to the Future references, but I think you're allowed 3, so... it was okay at first. It actually turned out she was into BDSM at the start, which is something I'm not too familiar with. I found out she was into BDSM in the second date when she appeared on my doorstep dressed in a French maid's outfit and asked me to tie her a black swivel chair in the middle of the living room. So, you know, I complied with her wishes and tied her to this black swivel chair in the middle of the living room. And when I done that, she said, "You can do anything you want to me." And I was standing there thinking, I'm kind of getting that from the fact you're tied to a black swivel chair in the middle of the living room. I didn't think we were rehearsing for a kinky mastermind. Although, you know, thinking about it, at that point, if she'd asked me to stop, I don't know if I'd have just said I've started, so finish. She was into other things as well. She was into arts and crafts and dance and all these types of fiction and dress up that I'd never heard of, like steampunk. I don't know if you know, but steampunk is Victorian era cyber fiction, which was actually appropriate because she turned out to be quite a fucking gaslighter. But like I say, I mean, it was actually a toxic relationship, and I played my part in how messed up it got as well. Like the last night we were in bed together, she told me I was selfish. She said I was ignorant. You know, she said something else, but I can't remember because I was having a wank at the time. But obviously lockdown's kind of eased and then it's back, and we don't even know what's happening just now. It feels more like pseudo lockdown just now. Like the rules are a lot easier to break when we don't know what the fuck they are. But anyway, so I just basically, even though I knew I shouldn't, just went on this Tinder date because it's been so long. It was going on really well at first. We were socially distanced and all the rest of it, and met in the park and went for a coffee. And we were, you know, she was 2 meters away or whatever. But at one point I leaned out to take her hands, and she just looked and stood up and stormed off. And at first it was because I thought it was because I'd breached social distancing. But I was like, wait, where are you going? And she turned around and she said, "Why the fuck do you have BDSM and dog and toxic relationship, gaslight and wanking written in your hand?" Right, cheers, thanks very much, guys. That's me, man.
Hey! Fantastic. Give it up for Jimi Longmuir. Absolutely enjoyed that, man. That was phenomenal. And I know what you're talking about, that loneliness of lockdown. In fact, I was looking for some lockdown companionship myself, not in the human, but in a pet. So I went to the pet shop and I said, you know, "Have you got any goldfish?" And he said, "Certainly, sir. Would you like an aquarium?" I said, "I don't care what star sign it is."
Conor, I have to tell you, right, I've got a girlfriend. I didn't go on a Tinder date. But the person from my joke is actually the same guy from John's joke, and that was how they met.
It's a small world.
It is indeed. It is indeed. See, it's think about like Pulp Fiction. John told you, like, you know, when the guy found out that he didn't exist, and then I gave you the love story to make it more bittersweet at the end.
That's brilliant.
Well, I mean, it's Tinder. It's not really a love story, but you get where I'm coming from, you know.
Modern day love story. I like it. I like it. So, folks, sadly, we have reached the end of the show, and I hope you've had as much fun as I have. So join me in giving one last applause for all the fantastic acts we've had today. So first, we had Ewan McPherson. After that, we had Michael Monkhouse. Then John Carruthers. And then we had Chris Wright. And after that, Ying Vigilan.
Yeah. Did you record it, Conor? Did you record everything? Can you
Yeah, we're still recording right now.
okay.
Finally, we had our magnificent headliner, Jimi Longmuir. So, folks, that is the end of another fun show. Thank you so much to those 3 people that stayed till the bitter end. You know, you guys, you're the backbone of Scottish comedy. So I thank you for that, and thank you to everyone else who dropped in now and again. So all that remains is we'll just have a wee goodbye wave from everyone. Hey, cheers.
Yeah,
thank you all, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah,
all the
are you
best.
gonna send the recording to the group, to the message?
If you want, yeah. Oh, it's all yours.
Yeah, I like the recording. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you and me both.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah,
Cheers.
very cute. You know, accents. I like.
I get that a lot.
Very sexy. Okay.
Do we start taking the clothes off now?
Okay. Bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
See you later.